So much energy.
Yeah.
And welcome to episode 41 of True Sports. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Louis Tenor. March Madness is here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was coming from my end for a minute, so I wanted to click off the sound bites that came in. But I didn't know it was coming from your side.
Yeah, I wanted
Okay.
to play something very energetic before
Well, it
we
was.
kick it off.
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know. The Timmy trumpet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to infringe. So,
Right. Right.
that being said, yeah, Michigan deserved to be out of it. Juwan Howard's got lots of work to do, but
Hmm.
Tom Izzo, his Michigan State Spartans reached the big dance for the 25th straight time. They broke Mike
Wow.
Krzyzewski's record of Duke.
Sorry, Coach K.
I like both coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Izzo just keeps reaching the big dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he reached it again this year. But who who's your uh, who are your underdogs that stand out to you?
Well, I think Princeton would be a good underdog since they're from my area. So that's
Hmm.
gonna look good. Yeah. Um. Other ones are as follows. I got quite a few of them. I was looking over the list today, as as you can plainly see, and some of them don't agree with me. Um,
It's part of it.
yeah, I know. Um, this one over here with Alabama versus the winner of Southeastern Missouri State. That might be a good upset. Missouri State, I don't think is a slouch.
Oh yeah, Missouri
Yeah,
versus Utah State.
but no, it's but this is one of those play-in matchups. Alabama's going to face the winner of the Texas A&M CC against Southeast Missouri State. I'd watch that one carefully if I was somebody, so I wouldn't knock them off just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alabama versus the winner
Yep.
of the South region. Uh,
Yes.
the Yeah, Texas A&M Corpus Christi versus Southeast Missouri State.
I'd like this upset here. Number five Duke against Oral Roberts. Because you never know those 5-12 seeds. They can be pretty shocking.
Yeah, I mean, Duke doesn't. Duke already no longer has Coach K.
No,
He
no.
retired.
Yeah. And I'm not too sure about
Some may
UConn.
have called him infamous, but hey,
Yes.
I gotta respect him.
Yeah. And I'm not too sure about what UConn because they've been like a seesaw all year. They were lucky to get the fourth seed. I would not be surprised if Iona does beat UConn.
Hmm. Let me look here. I got the March Madness app right here.
Mhm.
Um, Iowa State versus a winner to be determined in the Midwest Division. The between Mississippi State and Pitt. Then you got Arizona State and Nevada, the first four in the West Division. The winner of that game plays TCU.
Yes.
So yeah, one matchup that's not upset worthy is Kansas at Howard. Kansas is
No,
too good.
exactly. Sorry, Howard. I feel really bad for
Yeah.
you. Oh,
Also
or Howard.
UCLA I think will crush North Carolina Asheville.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Houston versus North Kentucky. What do you think of that?
No, I think I'll go with Houston. I'm not too keen on Northern Kentucky.
All right.
Nah.
Here's an intriguing matchup around my
Yes.
region.
Yes.
Indiana versus Kent State. 4 versus 13.
Oh. I think I see an upset here. Kansas State.
Kent State,
Kansas State. I think I see an upset with
the
that.
Golden Flashes from the Mid American Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus the Indiana Hoosiers. Friday at 9:55 p.m. on
Aha.
TBS.
I'll be ready.
Yeah. Michigan State versus USC. Friday at 12:15 p.m. 15 minutes afternoon on CBS.
Ah, my favorite time of the year.
Hmm. Also got Marquette versus Vermont.
Hmm. That's a tricky one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tricky is right.
Marquette won the Big East last night. Yeesh. I don't know. I think I see Vermont with that one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Kansas State versus Montana State.
I'll go with Kansas State.
Okay.
Yeah, tricky one.
Tennessee versus Louisiana.
I
The
gotta go
Raging
Tennessee.
Cajuns. Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah,
All right.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Duke versus Oral Roberts. I think we went over that one.
We did.
Yeah, I still think Duke wins. Kentucky
Okay.
versus Providence.
Hmm. I gotta go Kentucky. Even though I'm a Big East fan, I don't think Providence has a chance.
Michigan State versus USC.
I'm gonna go with Izzo.
All right, me too. By a close margin though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep. And then we got Memphis versus FAU.
Memphis.
Florida Atlantic
Yeah.
and Memphis. Memphis.
Eh,
Memphis. Close one. Yep.
okay.
That's the East region.
Yes.
Plus we got Arizona and Princeton. 2 versus 15.
I go my Tigers.
Oh, okay. Baylor versus UCSB.
That's Santa Barbara. I'm gonna go with Baylor.
Yeah, that's California, Santa Barbara. I'm going to go
Yep.
with Baylor as well. Also got Virginia versus Furman.
Virginia.
All right.
Hmm.
Yep, Virginia it is right. San Diego State, number 5 versus 12, Colony of Charleston, South Carolina.
I'm gonna go with San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Yeah.
Number 6, number 6 seeded Creighton versus 11, North Carolina State. Blue
NC
Jays
State.
or
NC State. I hate Creighton. I hate Creighton.
oh, versus the Wolfpack. All right. I'm gonna have to go with Creighton. I have to be realistic.
Okay.
Missouri versus Utah State.
Missouri.
Missouri, and then we got
Yes.
8 versus 9. Maryland versus West Virginia.
I can go either way. These 8-9 matchups can go either way. I'm gonna go West Virginia.
Okay, that's the South region.
Yeah.
So we already predicted Houston to clobber North Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
Texas versus Colgate, 2 and 15.
Texas.
Number 3 Xavier versus number 14 Kennesaw State.
Um, Wait, number 3 was what?
Xavier.
Yep.
With the
Xavier.
X. Xavier,
Yep.
Indiana versus Kent State. We went over that and we sensed an upset possibly happening.
Yes.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and go with Kent State.
Right.
Number 5 Miami, Florida, the Hurricanes playing number 12 Drake.
Hmm. I'm gonna go Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah.
Iowa State, number 6, is awaiting the winner of one of the first 4 games. 7 Texas A&M versus 10 Penn State.
Texas A&M. Penn State's football.
All right. Well, Penn State came close to beating Purdue in the
Yeah,
Big Ten championship game,
yeah, true. Mm,
but I still think Purdue was too much with Zach E.
yeah,
Scored over 30 points in the semifinal against Ohio State.
yeah. Also football.
Yep. Then we got number 8 Iowa versus number 9 Auburn.
Hmm. I'm gonna go Iowa.
Okay, I'll take Iowa as well.
Yeah.
That's the Midwest region. And finally, we have the West region. Kansas is going to take down Howard hands down.
Yep.
UCLA will take down North Carolina, Asheville, number 2 versus 5, beating number 15. Gonzaga, number 3, taking on number 14 seeded Grand Canyon.
Zaga. Zaga.
Yep. Number 4, UConn versus number 13, Iona. UConn.
I'm gonna go with Iona.
Okay. Hmm. Number 5, St. Mary's versus number 12, Virginia Commonwealth, VCU.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. All right.
Yes.
TCU, number 6, awaits the winner of another first 4 game. Number 7, Northwestern versus number 10, the Boise State Broncos.
Boise State.
All right. I think I'll take Boise State as well to beat the Wildcats.
Hmm.
And then finally, last but not least, number 8, Arkansas versus number 9, Illinois.
Gotta go Illinois. Illinois.
Illinois, yeah.
Yeah.
Lawrence Giffey's alma mater.
Yeah.
One of the reporters up here at 9 and 10 News, up in Cadillac here in my area
Uh.
in Northwest Michigan.
Unfortunately, the schools in my area did not make it where Rutgers, Seton Hall, and last year's surprise, St. Peter's. So, unfortunately for them and my state of New Jersey, I'm sorry. But Fairleigh Dickinson did make it, and they're going to get whooped in the first round.
Yep.
Yeah. Or as we call it here, fairly ridiculous.
Yeah. And also North Carolina, the Tar Heels missed out on the playoffs, and they decided to skip an NIT invite.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Michigan Wolverines are out of it too. I have no word on whether they decide to make it, whether they decide to take an NIT invite or not. But
We shall
I'll
see.
ask my Michigan Sports Truth podcast co-hosts about it. So, yeah, another wild weekend of sports, including the NHL, where the Red Wings beat the Boston Bruins 5-3.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was a typo for a minute, but nope, it's true.
Yeah, the Red Wings almost blew a 4-0 lead.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah, but Andrew Kopp got the empty net goal with under a minute to go. Dylan Larkin, a goal and 2 assists.
I like Larkin.
Yeah, me too. And he got his extension, 8 years, $8.7 million annual
Yeah.
average value, $69.6 million total.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep, Steve Eisenman has paid the man all right.
That's the
Larkin-
man for you.
Larkin's got like over 60 points. I would assume.
Yeah.
Those two teams, the Bruins and the Red Wings, they split the home and home series. The Red Wings still 7 points back of the New York Islanders now.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah, and then you got the NBA playoffs, the a playoff push.
Yep.
Um,
At half. Okay.
oh, there we go. Standings. Yep. Still neck
Okay.
and neck between the Bucks and Celtics.
Yep.
The Bucks have the lead in the East. All of a sudden, Celtics are
Yeah.
still a game and a half back, but over in the West, the Nuggets have a 5 point lead over both the Kings and the Grizzlies.
Despite today's loss to the Nets.
Yep, Pistons are 15 and 53. They hold the top overall pick. 15 and 53. You heard that right. But right behind them are the Houston Rockets at 15 and 52.
Ah,
And then spring training is almost halfway through.
yep. March 30th.
Yeah, and Jalen Ramsey got traded from the Rams to the Dolphins.
Yep.
So that was one of the Lions were one of the possible landing
I
teams,
heard.
but
Hmm.
Jalen Ramsey found the spot that he was most comfortable with, and I don't blame him for.
No.
So the Lions can only get Darius Slay back as corner
Oh.
while they focus on the draft.
Okay.
All right, so I think we've covered everything. So now
Okay.
it's time for your true sports report. Lewis, take it away.
And away we go. So let's do the NHL first. Right now, games in progress. The Flames are leading the Senators 2-1 with 13:51 to go in the second. And in the first, the Yahoos, aka the Predators, lead the Ducks 2-1. Also at the end of one, the Wild and the Coyotes are tied at 2, or you prefer the Wiley Coyotes. All the rest are final as the Red Wings beat the Bruins 5-3. You heard me correct. The Penguins over the Rangers 3-2 in overtime, much to my dismay. Devils blank the Hurricanes 3-0 and now have the lead in the Metropolitan Division. I'll get those things in a moment. The Knights beat the Blues 5-3, and the Jets beat the Lightning 3-2. So now we'll go to the tomorrow's schedule. It's a light schedule for a Monday night, as it usually is, so that doesn't surprise me. And it goes like this for March 13th. We have the Avalanche taking on the Montreal Canadiens at 7:30. The Sabres take on the Leafs at 7:30, and your 10 o'clock game, the Stars taking on the Kraken. So now let's get to the standings here, and it goes this way. In the Eastern Conference, yep, the Bruins clinch the playoff spot. Oh, what a surprise! As they are 50, 10, and there's okay, 50, 10, and 5, I believe. They're not coming up all together, so just bear with me on that. The Leafs are 40, 17. Hmm, 40 and 17. There seems to be a little problem with the NHL standings here, so I'm just going as best as I possibly could. They have 6 overtime losses. Okay. The Panthers 33, 27, and 7. Hold on a second. Leafs are 40, 17, and 6. The Panthers are 33, 27, and 7, 73 points. The Senators are 33, 28, and with 4 overtime losses, 70 points. The Sabres are 69 points at 32, 28, and 5. Red Wings 30, 27, and 9, 69 points. And at 58 points, the Canadiens at 26, 34, and 6. Over to the Metropolitan Division. This will have to be updated as it says the Carolina Hurricanes, they're tied, excuse me. The Hurricanes are 43, 14, and 8, 94 points. The Devils, 44, 16, and 6, 94 points. 84 points for the Rangers, 37, 19, and 10. The Pens, 34, 20, and 10, 78 points. Islanders, 76 points at 34, 26, and 8. The Capitals, 32, 28, and 7, 71 points. The Flyers, 24, 31, and 11, 59 points. And the Blue Jackets, 20, 38, and 7, 47 points. Over to the Central. The West. During the conference in the Central. The Stars, 36, 17, and 13, 85 points. The Wild, 38, 21, 7, 83 points. The Jets, 79 points at 38, 28, and 26, and 3. At 71 points are the Predators at 32, 24, and 7. The Blues, 63 points at 29, 32, and 5. The Coyotes, 23, 32, and 11, 57 points. And the Blackhawks, 22, 36, and 6, 50 points. To the Pacific in the West, the Knights, 41, 20, and 6, 88 points. The Kings right behind them at 85 points at 38, 20, and 9. Kraken, only their second year, and they're 37, 22, and 7, 81 points. Oilers, 80 points at 36, 23, and 8. The Flames are at 71 points at 29, 24, and 13. Canucks, 28, 32, and 5, 61 points. The Ducks are at 22, 35, and 9. And the Sharks are 19, 36, and 12 at 50 points. Well, all right. So now let's head over to the court. And it goes this way. At the half, the Knicks lead the Lakers 62 to 59. Randall has 25 points and 8 rebounds. And Russell for the Lakers has 23 points. As I just mentioned before, the Nets over the Nuggets, 122 to 120. Nick Claxton had 20 points and 6 rebounds, and Nikolai Jovic, 35 points, 20 rebounds, and 11 assists. Yes, a triple-double. The Cavaliers of the Hornets, 114 to 108. Darius Garland had 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. While Terry Rozier, 27 points, 6 assists, and 4 steals. Sixers over the Wizards, 112 to 93. Kispert had 25 points, and Joel Embiid, 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Pelicans over the Blazers, 127 to 110. Kevin Knox, the junior, had 14 points, while Tyler Murphy had 41 points and 7 rebounds. Thunder over the Spurs, 102 to 90. Williams had 21 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds, and Collins had 23 points and 11 rebounds. So your schedule now goes this way for tomorrow. All right. And it goes like this. Your early games starting at 7 o'clock are the Pacers taking on your Detroit Pistons. 7:30 games are the Timberwolves versus the Atlanta Hawks. The Jazz taking on the Heat. The Grizzlies taking on the Mavericks. 8 o'clock, the Celtics take on the Rockets. The Suns take on the Warriors at 10, and the Bucks take on the Kings at 10. So the standings go like this. All right. The Bucks lead the East at 48 and 19. The Celtics are 47 and 21, a game and a half back. The Sixers are in third at 45-22, 3 back. The Cavaliers are 43 and 27, 6 and a half back. The Nets are 9 and a half back at 39 and 29. The Knicks are 39 and 30, 10 back, pending the outcome of this game. The Heat are 36 and 33, 13 back. The Hawks are 34 and 34, 14 and a half back. The Raptors are 16.5 back at 32 and 36, and the Bulls are 31 and 36 at 17 back. Those are the playing games from 7 to 10. Bringing up the rear are the Pacers and the Wizards at 31 37, 17.5 back.
Each.
The Magic, yep. The Magic are 28 and 40, 20.5 back. The Hornets are 22 and 48, 27.5 back. And we have our first team of elimination. You guessed it, the Pistons at 15 and 53, 33.5 back. Yes, they are out, of course.
Thank God.
I know. For the West, the Nuggets, 46 and 22, despite today's loss. The Kings are 5 back at. We have a tie here, actually. The Kings and the Grizzlies are 40 and 26 at 5 back each. The Suns, 37 and 30, 8.5 back. The Clippers, 10.5 back at 36 and 33, while the Warriors are 35 and 33, 11 back. In the play-in spots, the Wolves and the Mavericks are at 34 and 34, 12 back. The Lakers are 33 and 34, 12.5 back, pending the outcome of this game against the Knicks. And the Jazz are 33 and 35, 13 back, along with the Pelicans and the Thunder. The Blazers are 31 and 37, 15 back. And your eliminators are the Spurs at 17 and 52, 50, 28.5 back. And the Rockets, 15 and 52, 30.5 back. Blah. You want to talk dumpster fire? There you go. Yeah. That's a dumpster fire right there. All right, so now we'll go to the news of the day. If I can clear this. Oh, okay. Well, I got good news if you're a Kansas fan, as Kansas basketball coach Bill Self was discharged from the hospital, the University of Kansas Health System today, I should say. Now is at home. Is now at home. The school announced today. He is expected to rejoin his team this week ahead of the NCAA tournament. Self missed the Big 12 tournament after complaining of chest tightness and balance concerns, and was admitted to the hospital on Wednesday. The Kansas Health System released a statement on Self's condition. Coach Self was discharged from the University Health System in good condition, said the release. He was admitted to the emergency department on Wednesday with tightness in his chest and balance issues. Clinical Chief Cardiovascular Medicine Specialist Mark Whitley said that when Self went through a standard catheterization and 2 stents placed for the treatment of blocked arteries. Self responded to the procedure and is expected to make a full recovery. From Bill Self himself. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. The Flyers fired general manager and president Chuck Fletcher on Friday. During the past several years, our team has not lived up to the standard, so now we must begin a new path forward under new leadership, said by Flyers Governor Dave Scott in a statement on Friday. Well, no kidding. We have released Fletcher from his roles as team president and general manager. We are grateful for his work and dedication to the team and wish him nothing but the best. Daniel Breary will serve as interim general manager as the Flyers look to fill both roles separately. Breer was once a Flyers player himself, was serving as a special assistant to the general manager, and is a strong candidate for either of the two positions. The firing of Fletcher came 1 week after the trade deadline. Kyle Lowry did something that he's not done in 10 years last night. He came off the bench in a loss to the Magic. Lowry has been out since Groundhog Day due to left knee soreness, entered the game as a replacement for Jimmy Butler. The streak ended 677 games for Lowry as a starter. The last time he came off the bench he was a member of the Raptors on January 26, 2013 against the Cavaliers. When I asked if he still cared about starting, Lowry said, "No. I know in my heart I'm a starter, but right now we have to figure things out. Coach Spoelstra and I talked last night, and he wants me sure I am healthy enough not to have a setback and go through another lineup change." Lowry's entrance was briefly delayed as he jumped off a stationary bike, loosening up from behind the bench. As he went to the scorer's table, he had to take up his warm-up stuff a heating pad, and another wrap before entering the game. Lowry had 12 points and 4 assists in 36 minutes. Spoelstra said it was not the plan for Lowry to play so many minutes, but that had to be altered after guard Hero, was limited to a case of food poisoning, and big man Cody Zeller left the game after breaking his schnoz and he had stitches in his eye. Despite the circumstances, Spoelstra was pleased with the results, though I can't imagine why. Well, the Bruins are still the Bruins, and they're still hot, as they became the fastest team to reach 50 wins in a season, thanks to Garnet Hathaway goal that broke a tie that gave them their 50th win of the season in 64 games, breaking the record of 66 games set by the 95-96 Red Wings, only to lose the Avalanche in the conference finals, which I remember very well.
Yeah, Claude Lemieux's hit on Chris Draper
Yep,
in
I
Game
remember.
6.
Yep.
That's what started this rivalry.
Yeah, I know. I saw that game. All right.
A year later, on March 26, 1997, the brawl. Yeah.
My birthday. Yeah,
Darren
my
McCarty.
Thanks a lot.
Darren McCarty just absolutely buried Claude Lemieux, while Patrick Waugh and Mike Vernon were fighting, along with Brendan Shanahan.
You did say March 26th, right?
March 26th, yeah.
Happy unbirthday to me. Okay.
Yeah, then game 4 rather of the Western Conference Finals that year, 97.
Yep.
Shanahan took care of Rene Corbet, and then the coaches started jawing off at one another, especially Mark Crawford, just barking at Scotty Bowman right to his face.
Or Farf. For sure.
And then November 11th, 1997, the season after, Lemieux and McCarty actually both went toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
And then April 1st of 1998, Patrick Waugh went after it with Chris Osgood.
Oh, yeah. And that was no April Fool either.
Yeah,
so the Bruins...
Then early in 2002, Waugh and Hasek in Denver. Well, they almost went at it.
Yeah, I think I recall that too. So anyway, the Bruins matched the total of the 2018-2019 Lightning and could become the first team to reach the playoffs depending on the outcomes of the other games, but that has now been official, and they are the first team to qualify for the playoffs this season. Oh, what a surprise. All right. Other championship matches that took place this week. Arizona topped UCLA in the Pac-12 championship last night. Courtney Ramey missed all 4 of his 3-point attempts when the ball would wind up back in his hands in the game's final seconds. Ramey shook a defender, then drilled one from the top of the key with 16.7 seconds to go, with the Wildcats out in front, and it was enough to hold UCLA to win the Pac-12 title game. Ramey said his next shot was going in. My job was to make a play. The Wildcats at 20-6 boosted their case for a number 2 seed, while UCLA was hoping to get a number 1 seed in the West. This was the second straight year that Arizona beat UCLA in the Pac-12 title game. Arizona coach Tommy Lloyd called it a knockdown, drag-out fight. I had a feeling it was going to go down that way. So did I. Ramey's 3-point shot for the Wildcats had by 2. The clutch shot came after teammate Lunius Tublis missed a 3-pointer, but was rebounded by P.L. Larson, who gave the ball to Ramey. UCLA guard Tiger Campbell was fouled with 6.8 seconds left. He made the first free throw, but missed the second. Tubils made one of 2 free shots with 5.8 seconds left. Dylan Andrews missed a 3 at the buzzer that would have given the Bruins the win. Tublis was the tournament's most outstanding player, 19 points and 13 rebounds. Larson had 11 points. On the Bruins side, Army Bailey had 19 points, Campbell had 16 points, and Jamie Jacquez had 13 points and 10 rebounds. Not bad. John Schreier stood on stage wiping his brow as he scanned the bubbly crowd as as his players celebrated an ACC title. That's when Kyle Lepowski walked up behind his coach and wrapped around him. The youthful Blue Devils, from their freshman to their first-year coach, could never savor the moment they've had so many times before. Lepowski had 20 points and 10 rebounds and was named tournament's MVP as Duke went on to beat Virginia Tech last night. Coming into the game, the critics were talking about how young this team is, and said freshman guard Tyrese Proctor, "We stuck it out all year and did not give up." Jeremy Roach scored a career 23 points for the Fort Sea Blue Devils, who completed a final month surge to reach the top of the ACC and to claim their 22nd conference title. Schreier spent last year as the coach in waiting in the following year for Coach K, assembled the nation's top recruiting class that led the group through ups and downs to enter the tournament on a 9-game winning streak. He said the new players who arrived or returned from last season wanted to be a part of the tradition, but it also was a leap of faith and a pivotal moment of change for the program. And some people don't like it. John Morant will not face charges stemming from his Instagram video, where he displayed a handgun at a nightclub, the Glendale police announced on Wednesday afternoon. Shortly afterward, the Grizzlies announced that Morant will miss another 4 games and will not be able to return until at least March 17th. In a news release, the Glendale police said that they conducted an investigation after being alerted to the video streamed at Morant's Instagram channel, determining the incident came as strip joint called Shotgun, while it was early Saturday morning after a loss to the Nuggets, but there was not enough evidence to charge anyone with the crime. Morant missed games against the Warriors, back-to-back against the Mavericks and the Heat. What a jerk. Yeah. Well, I got some good news and bad news for your Lightning fans. First, they beat the Blackhawks 3-1 last night, but Steven Stamkos left the game in the first period with a left leg injury.
Ow.
Yeah. But there's more.
Kilos.
Stamkos got tangled up with Blackhawks forward Joey Anderson in his own zone with under 3 minutes in the first period. In his own zone. Wow. Following the win, Lightning coach John Cooper did sound hopeful on the forward status moving forward. Cooper said, "I think he's going to be fine, but we'll keep him out just for cautionary reasons." The two-time Stanley Cup champion has 27 goals and 66 points on this season. Stamkos has played his entire career with the Lightning and has 508 goals and 1,038 points. He reached 1,000 points on December 1st and 500 goals on January 18th. He is 12 games away from playing his 1,000th NHL game. The Lightning, who have made to the finals 3 straight years, are third this year in the Atlantic Division, as the Bruins are ripping the rest of the division to shreds. As it stands now, the Lightning are headed for a first-round matchup with the Leafs, but there's still time to change that, so we'll wait and see. The Capitals re-signed defenseman Trevor Van Riemsdyk to a 3-year, $9 million deal. General Manager Brian McClellan made the announcement yesterday, hours before they met with the Islanders in the division matchup. The deal runs through 25-26 and carries an annual salary cap limit of $3 million. And for you XFL fans, Arlington is playing St. Louis and Vegas is playing DC. Okay, D'Angelo Russell got a welcome return to the Lakers on Friday against a much-needed win over the Raptors. Russell missed 6 games with a right ankle sprain, scored 28 points with 16 in the fourth quarter on 5 for 5 shooting, keeping the Lakers' momentum going. Although right now, I don't think so. The Lakers are 6-2 since the All-Star break and are in the 9th spot in the West, still in the play-in spot, but are only a game and a half out of the 5th spot with 15 games to go. Russell finished 10 for 17 with 9 assists and 5 rebounds. This was my first game back, and I could not wait to get back to the floor, he said, and could not help but smile. The Lakers outscored the Raptors 37-22 in the fourth quarter thanks to Russell, as they once were trailing by 15 points. Anthony Davis only scored 8 points, but had 9 rebounds and 4 blocks on 4-for-7 shooting. Austin Reeves had 18 points that contributed to a 61-12 edge in bench points for the Lakers. Wow. All right. St. John's fired men's basketball coach Mike Anderson. Source on ESPN, the Red Storm are now going after Rick Pitino. Anderson failed to make the tournament throughout his 4 years at St. John's, despite finishing with a decent record of 68-56. They finished their season Thursday with a loss to Marquette and finished with an 8-15 record on the season, but a 7-13 record in conference play. After fully evaluating the men's program, the university decided that a change of leadership and direction was needed in the basketball program, said by athletic director Mike Craig in a statement. The Red Storm hired Anderson in 2019 after parting ways with Arkansas. He reached the tournament 3 times in 5 years at Arkansas, but was not able to duplicate the same success when he came over to St. John's. All right, moving along. The world's number one golfer, John Ram, withdrew from the Players' Championship due to a stomach bug. Ram had a 1 under par 71 in the first round. He was scheduled to play alongside Roy McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler, who won the tournament. Ram was the hottest golfer on the planet, winning 5 titles in 9 events worldwide, including 3 events in the PGA. Raptors point guard Fred VanVleet was fined $30,000 by the league on Friday for his comments on official Ben Taylor. That came after Wednesday night's loss to the Clippers. VanVleet expressed his frustration at the time, not just with the loss to the Clippers, but also with the loss to the Nuggets earlier in the week. Speaking a lot for his teammates, I was frustrated and emotional, VanVleet told reporters, but there are a lot of people who felt the same way. I see. Hopefully, going forward, it'll be a turn for the better. But it was a bit emotional and a tough loss where I got caught up in the moment. You live, learn, and move on. It came out authentic. It came out in real time. I would have not done it if I had another outlet. I felt like I was exhausted my opinions this season on many different occasions. It was just one of those things, but after all, I'm only human. The Clippers went to the foul line 31 times compared to the Raptors 14 times. VanVleet was whistled for a technical foul by Taylor with just over 7 minutes in the third. The Clippers were up by 7 points, though the Raptors got within 2 late in the third, before the Clippers would push the lead back to 12 to start the fourth. After VanVleet picked up his 8th technical foul of the season and 3 from Taylor, he sounded off. A language I will not repeat on the show. VanVleet said, "I'll take the fine. I don't care." VanVleet said, "I thought Taylor officiating was being terrible. I think you know most nights there are 3 officials. There's always one to foul up the game." Celtics guard Marcus Smart was asked about the comments that VanVleet made. "I don't know if you saw Fred's last interview," Smart told reporters. That's all I'm going to say. "I'm not the only one who feels this way, but I do feel Fred did the talking. The Raptors felt the frustration in 2 straight games with 2 second-half technical fouls. During the Raptors' loss to the Nuggets, official Scott Foster called Scottie Barnes for a technical foul with 28 seconds left in the game, as the Nuggets leading by a point. Foster said in the post-game report that Barnes was ejected for a technical foul because he used verbiage where he was directly questioning the crew's integrity. Oh, like that's a shock. Kevin Durant will miss 2 to 3 weeks with a left ankle injury. The Suns sent a release that Durant suffered a left ankle sprain and will be reevaluated again in 3 weeks' time. Durant had an MRI on Thursday slipped and injured his ankle during pregame warm-ups, knocking him out of what was to be his first home game for the Suns. He left the arena in a walking boot after the Suns easily beat the Thunder. Durant played 3 road games for the Suns after being acquired from the Nets, averaging 26.7 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. Patrick Ewing is not coming back to Georgetown next season. The school made the official announcement back on Thursday. Ewing, one of college basketball's greatest players, finished his 6 years at Georgetown with a dismal 75-109 record. What a shame. Ewing said he's proud to be a graduate of Georgetown, saying in his statement, he was grateful to President John Day DeJora for giving him an opportunity to be a head coach, and I will always be a Hoya. A new search is already underway. Georgetown won a Big East title in 2021 with Ewing, but has struggled since then. Last season, Georgetown went winless in conference play, finished 7-25 overall, and was 6-25 this year with a 2-18 conference record. The Hoyas lost a record 29 straight conference games starting in 2021 and ended in January. Ewing ended his tenure at Georgetown on Wednesday night with a loss to their old rival Villanova, which they lost to in the '85 championship game, for those of you that remember like I do. Former Supersonics player Shawn Kemp will not face charges following his arrest in a drive-by shooting in Washington State. Kemp was booked Kemp was booked for an investigation on a felony and a drive-by shooting on Wednesday, actually, in Tacoma. Online records stated no one was injured in the shooting. A spokesperson for the Pierce County Prosecutor's Office said in an email statement that no charges were filed at the time against Kemp and was being released from jail pending further investigation. By the way, you now call them the Oklahoma City Thunder. Seattle was my day.
Yeah.
It's over for the good old days. It's over for Alonzo Ball as he may be required a third surgical procedure on his left knee that will require a recovery time of 6 months, including rehab. Ball, who has not played since January 14th, has been ruled out for the rest of the season. Has undergone two surgeries in just 14 months' time. That's a lot. The belief is the third surgery is likely necessary to give the former number 2 pick an opportunity to play again. The Bulls and Ball's reps with Clutch Sports are working together with specialists before a final decision is made. But a procedure this month would further delay the possibility of ramping him up to return next season. Ball has made progress in recent months, but can't run or jump without experiencing pain. Oh dear. He is completing the second of a 4-year, $80 million free agent deal that started with so much promise in the 2021-22 season. The Bulls are 30-36 and have fallen to 11th in the East since Lonzo's absence. Now, what can I tell you? It's just how bad it is. And Durant's still out there. All right, Zion Williams will miss another 2 weeks as he recovers from a strained right hamstring that has kept him sidelined for the last 2 months. In a statement back on Wednesday, the Pelicans said that Zion was recently reevaluated again, and medical imaging showed the hamstring is healing. His next exam will be in about 2 weeks' time. When asked on Wednesday if Williamson would return for the end of the regular season, head coach Willie Green said, "Yeah, maybe." Flyers defenseman Tony DeAngelo has been suspended 2 games for spearing Lightning forward Corey Perry. The announcement came from the NHL Board of Safety. DeAngelo received a major penalty and a game misconduct for spearing Perry right where it counts. Okay, below the belt, but that's normally a boxing term. The league also said in a video breaking down the incident did not engage Perry in any prior to choosing to deliver the strike while Perry was not looking at that. Perry was not looking at that premeditated nature, and the force which was delivered to the groin area, deserving of the suspension. D'Angelo missed games against the Hurricanes and Pens, and will forfeit about, let's just say $54,000 out of his salary. Let's just make it round numbers. Okay, on to more news here. As soon as I clear this junk off. The Buffalo Bills may have moved for their present as well as their future. The Bills today signed all-pro linebacker Matt Milano on a 2-year extension through 2026. That came today. The move also helps the Bills, creating around $6 million in cap space, sources told ESPN. The Bills entered this weekend with $19 million over the cap for 2023. Defensive tackle Tim Settle's contract was restructured to open about $600,000 in cap space. Milano was under contract through 2024 on an extension signed before the linebacker could reach free agency back in 2021. The latest deal keeps Milano with the Bills long term, but with uncertainty for their other linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, for all of his 5 seasons, and is set to become a free agent when the new league year begins on Wednesday. Okay, now, we know that spring training doesn't mean a lot. I get it. But when you're having a slump, I think a hit deserves some mentioning here. As Fernando Tatis Jr. finally got a hit in spring training, he was 0 for 16 in spring training until he hit a smash shot off the glove of White Sox shortstop Eric Gonzalez for a single in the first inning. The hit came off his former teammate Mike Clevenger. Oh boy. Tatis added a 2-run double. These were hits in 256 days, as Tatis missed all of last season. He was set to return from surgery on his left wrist when he was suspended for 80 games in August for the use of performance-enhancing drugs.
If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. He was just getting warmed up.
Yes. Well, we have another passing to mention here, as former outfielder Jesus Alou passed away at the age of 80 on Friday, announced by the Red Sox. Alou suffered 2 cardiovascular attacks, but was not diagnosed with any serious illnesses. Alou spent 15 seasons in the majors with the Astros, Mets, Giants, and A's, and won 2 World Series titles with the A's as a bench player. Alou also has baseball in his blood. His brothers Felipe and Marty were all in the majors. The Fab Three are the only trio of brothers to play in the same outfield, and that happened way back on September 15th, 1963 against the Pirates. Felipe was the starter, and Marty and Jesus were the replacements. Jesus had been working as a scout for the Red Sox since 2002. Yeah. All right, I got some more here. In the U.S. opener in the WBC, Nolan Arenado's bat and glove gave the U.S. the spark needed. Arenado had 3 hits and several highlighted plays on the defense in their opening win against Great Britain last night. The intensity, which works in pregame, is honestly, I'm not sugarcoating it, like I've never seen anything like this before, said manager Mark DeRosa after the game. He's intense in ground balls, and he's intense in his cage work. Arenado's pregame routine was actually thrown off due to the length of the previous contest yesterday between Colombia and Mexico. One of the things we learned from 2017 is that you have to be able to adjust to the fly. We are taking ground balls in the outfield, Arenado said. I have not taken ground balls since I was in Little League. While I was doing it, I made sure to focus and do it the right way, and I was ready to go. Kyle Schwab's 3-run home in the 4th ignited the U.S. crowd that gave him the lead and never gave it back. As a matter of fact, I believe Mexico and the U.S. are playing right now, so I'm just going to check that score for a minute, if the game is still in progress. It is. Right now, well, I'll get a score in a second here. Whoop. We have an error on the play here. Good. All right, it's Mexico 2-1, top of the third. Okay. As the game started at 10 o'clock. And you can catch that on Fox Sports 1. Preparing for free agency, a possible addition of the Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, the Jets created $13.1 million in cap space by reconstructing 3 veteran contracts. They reworked the contracts of 3 players during the 2022 free agent class: guard Laken Tomlinson, cornerback DJ Reed, and tight end Tyler Conklin, sources told ESPN yesterday. Despite what rumors you heard, the signing for Rodgers is not official, so let's keep that in mind right now. Previously, the Jets reconstructed the contract of tight end CJ Uzmuth, another member of the 2022 class, and released wide receiver Braxton Berrios. All told, the cap savings totaled more than $21 million. The Jets needed to make moves as they're slightly over the $224 million cap. Teams must be compliant with the cap by Wednesday. Now they wait for Rodgers to make a decision on his future. He can either request a trade, retire, or go back to the Packers, which is not very likely. Both the Jets and Packers hope to have a resolution by Wednesday to start free agency. The legal tampering period for the league starts tomorrow. That's going to be fun. All right. Outfielder Corbin Carroll and the D-backs come to agreement on an 8-year, $111 million deal. Extension sources familiar told ESPN. The deal includes an option for a 9th year, which would bring his total to a staggering $134 million. Carroll made his big league debut last season and lived up to the hype. In 32 major league games, he hit 4 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. Derek Carr says he's ready to reinvent himself. Unfortunately, he's not coming my way. The Saints introduced Carr at a news conference that lasted 45 minutes. Carr sat next to head coach Dennis Allen and his family, and the Saints front office in attendance. He talked about his 9-year run with the Raiders and how the Saints convinced him to join the team. Yeah, thanks a lot, you dirty dog. What's next could be throwing to wide receiver Michael Thomas. Thomas and the Saints look like they could be headed for a breakup after they reconstructed his contract in January. But Carr spoke to Thomas through free agency as they expected to be teammates with the former Offensive Player of the Year. Carr and Thomas became close in part of their conversations over the phone. He told Saints GM Mickey Loomis after one of these conversations and said, "We could go out and face the world." He added when he started to recruit me and said, "We were not even looking to recruit me." He was like, when do we get to work? We are wasting our time and the clock is ticking. I'm like, dude, we'll get there. But I think a relationship has grown through the process, and I'm looking forward to making it grow even stronger. Carr will be playing with tight end Juwan Johnson, a restricted free agent who scored 7 touchdowns for the Saints last season. The Saints announced today that Carr signed a 2-year deal. Just 2 years, huh? Well, okay. The Bears are trading the number 1 draft pick to the Carolina Panthers. Oh, my brother's not going to be happy about that. The Bears will receive wide receiver DJ Moore, the Panthers' first-round pick and 9th overall, the 61st pick, another first-rounder in 2024, and a second-rounder in 2025. Yep. And to my Bears fans out there, sorry. Yeah, well. Okay, moving right along. Moving along here. Oh. Okay. Ace pitcher Jacob deGrom could make his first start for the Texas Rangers tomorrow. The 2-time NL Cy Young winner and former Mets standout threw 2 hitters for the first time on Wednesday, and he was in the upper 90s, and his fastball hit 100 miles per hour on the last of his 35 pitches. Manager Bruce Bochy said DeGrom threw again yesterday and could pitch again tomorrow. Some of you like that, some of you don't. He's in a good place now, said Bochy, and if all goes well, he will have 3 spring training starts under his belt. The Rangers signed DeGrom in December to a 5-year, $185 million deal. He spent his first 9 seasons of his career with the Mets, but injuries limited him to 156 innings in 26 starts in just the last 2 seasons. He threw about 6 bullpen sessions before arriving in camp, but was delayed throwing in camp and reported stiffness in his left side before the Rangers' first workout on February 15th. He's just so injury prone that it's not even funny. Okay, now for the ridiculous sign of the week. I think you're going to enjoy this. Puerto Rico set a new Guinness record for, get this, folks, the most dyed hair. I swear I am not making the story up. In all, 192 men went blonde to show support for the U.S. territory team of Puerto Rico that has yet to win their first WBC. They finished twice before in the runner-up spot. The teams first dyed their hair blonde in 2017 and did it for a joke. Little did they know that craze caught on in Puerto Rico and left pharmacies and beauty shops ran out of hair dye. The tournament is held usually every 4 years, but the pandemic pushed it back. So after 6 years without a dye job, oh boy, no Team Rubio, many eager fans of Puerto Rico were eager to see if the trend will continue. Sure enough, it did, and people from the island dyed their hair dirty blonde and even burnt orange with locks and beards to show support for the team. My, the things some people will do. The more blonde we are, the more united we become, said photographer Michael Rodriguez Camilo as he awaited his dark hair to change color. He was one of 192 men that took part in this unusual event yesterday. They sat at an outdoor area for 45 minutes wearing plastic shower caps and took selfies and observed themselves with their cell phones as colorists came by and peeked under the shower caps. It is kind of ridiculous, but yeah, I get the point why they do it. Still, oh boy. And the Yankees' spring training woes continue as injuries pile up as center fielder Harrison Bader went down with a left oblique strain. Bader was sent for testing after he felt discomfort on his left side for his last at-bat on Wednesday against the Cardinals. Manager Aaron Boone did not reveal the degree for Bader, but even mild strains are listed as grade 1, can take up to 4 to 6 weeks of recovery time. It's an oblique for Bader. I don't have a time frame yet because doctors are weighing in on it, Boone told reporters on Friday. This was the 4th injury for the Yankees in spring training. General Manager Brian Cashman announced Thursday that Carlos Rodon would start the season on the injured list with a mild forearm strain. Cashman did say that Rodon would be able to return sometime in April. The other Yankee injuries are as follows. Reliever Tommy Canale with biceps and Lou Trevino, also a reliever, with an elbow ligament strain. Canale is on track to resume a throwing program next week and may be able to return next month. But Trevino is not expected to be back until May, according to Cashman. Boone said the defending AL MVP Aaron Judge could be an option at center if Bader started the season on the injured list. Judge played 78 games at center field last season. So we got to take a look at that. Oh, I got the wrong channel on. Okay. Houston does not have a problem as the Texans signed wide receiver Robert Woods to a deal yesterday. The Texans signed Woods to a 2-year, $15.2 million deal with $10 million guaranteed. The max potential on the contract is $17 million. Last season, Woods caught 53 passes for 527 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Titans. The Titans acquired Woods in March of 2022 by trading a 2023 6th-round pick to the Rams. Sad news for longtime Chiefs fans as wide receiver of the Chiefs, Otis Taylor, who was teammates with Len Dawson in Super Bowl IV in 1970, passed away after suffering from health problems at the age of 80. He passed away on Friday. According to his family, who had been caring for him, was suffering from Parkinson's disease and dementia, and comes only after 7 months after the passing of Len Dawson. Wow. Taylor spent his entire 10-year career with the Chiefs and was drafted fourth at Prairie View A&M in the 1965 AFL draft. He went on to have 2 seasons of 1,000 yards rushing as the passing game was still evolving, and finished with 7,306 receiving yards and 57 touchdown catches. Taylor is best remembered for his 46-yard touchdown drive catch to beat the Vikings in Super Bowl IV in 1970. I heard stories about that. He was part of 2 AFL championship teams and was voted to the Pro Bowl in 1971-72 and was inducted to the Chiefs Ring of Honor in 1982. The Dolphins will pick up the fifth-year option on quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Oh well, locking it way ahead of the May 2nd deadline. The decision was first reported by the NFL Network. Tagovailoa set passing yards, records for passing yards, touchdowns, and completion percentage, and pass rating in the last one. He missed 5 games this season, including the loss to the Bills in the wild card. General Manager Chris Greer and head coach Mike McDaniel have publicly committed to Tua starting the season on multiple occasions since the season ended. I think it's important to recognize a convergence of interest by the Dolphins and the player, Tua, want him to play at a high level for a long time. For the Dolphins, said by McDaniel last month, Tua suffered a second concussion at a Christmas Day game against the Packers. The next day he was placed in concussion protocol and was shut down for the rest of the season until he was cleared in January. Tagovailoa enters the 4th year of his rookie deal this season and plans to make a full guarantee of $23.4 million next year. Oh, good. The Knicks are up by 7. Good. And show me the money. Ohtani is out again. As for the second straight game, he doubled and singled in his second straight game in a rout over South Korea in the WBC. Ohtani was intentionally walked in the third by scoring 4 runs in the third to take the lead and never gave it back. He doubled and scored on a 2-run fifth and hit an RBI single in the 6th. The two-way star is 4 for 7 with 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and 4 walks in Japan's 2 games, only giving him 1 run in 4 innings. Yu Darvish got the win following allowing 3 runs, 2 earned, with 3 hits in 3 innings. Yeah. Well, he's the real deal. That's for sure.
Shohei Ohtani is too good.
Yeah, a little too good. Yet they haven't been able to win a title yet. Well, OBJ will be held to workout for NFL teams back on Friday. Beckham missed all 2022 with a torn ACL that occurred during last season's Super Bowl. Oh yeah. He went out as a free agent on a free agent tour where he made visits to the Cowboys, Giants, and the Bills. Oh, Diane be happy about that one. The Giants are expected to be represented in the workout and to serve as an opportunity for Beckham to show his teams where he's at physically, since it's been 13 months since the injury. Beckham is expected to be among the top wide receivers available this year in free agency, despite coming off his second ACL tear. This is not believed to be a strong group of free agent receivers. The Patriots' Jacoby Myers is the top receiver available. Beckham was playing a high level for the Rams in the Super Bowl as he planted his left foot very awkwardly, then reached for his knee. Trying to think we can all bend him like Beckham. No. Never mind. He had 3 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown before the injury. Beckham seemed to be reinventing himself as a top receiver for the Rams where he had 27 catches for 395 yards in 8 games for the Rams in the 2021 season. His best moment was in his rookie season in 2014 with a one-handed catch against the Cowboys. Now my nephew remembers that like it was yesterday. He was named Offensive Rookie of the Year that season. He had at least 1,300 yards rushing and double-digit touchdowns in each of his first 3 seasons before injuries took a toll on him. Oh yeah. He fractured his leg in the 2017 season, then was traded to the Browns in 2019 by Giants general manager Dave Gettleman. Beckham was released from the Browns midway through 2021, then picked up by the Rams and eventually won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Well, the Browns' loss was the Rams' gain. Go figure that one out. Yeah. I personally think the Rams had a shot. Surprise, surprise. And right now, the Knicks are still up by 7 points, 103.96 to go with 5.5 left. Hopefully they'll win this and won't have to go for their 4th loss in a row. Yeah. The Houston Texans will give up their 2023 5th round pick, round selection, and fine $175,000 for a salary cap violation, including former quarterback Deshaun Watson. Following a review, the NFL determined that Houston provided Watson with undisclosed compensation in the form of membership at a different facility during the COVID crisis in 2020. The Texans paid Watson $26,777 to train at a nearby facility while theirs was closed at the start of the pandemic, or as I call it, that thing. According to the current CBA, teams must report any compensation or benefit. The Texans believe the payment did not provide any salary cap advantage and viewed it as an accounting error. The NFL had taken a 4th round pick from the Texans and fined them $250,000, but those penalties were reduced on appeal. The Texans now have 10 picks in the draft, including the 2nd and 12th selections that they received as part of a trade that sent Watson to the Browns. After the deal, the Browns signed Watson to a 5-year deal worth $230 million. Is he worth that much? No, but they pay him that much anyway. Yeah. Not worth it at all. And the Jets say they're still confident they'll sign Aaron Rodgers. I don't think so. Yeah. The Padres took spirits to the outfield and took some bats at spring training complex after an early workout to test his calf that kept him in Arizona. Soto had been dealing with calf tightness and still could join the Dominican Republic before they begin group play on Sunday versus Venezuela. He also did some work in the outfield. Padres manager Bob Melvin said the Padres increased the progression of Soto's work and completing a B game against the Guardians, formerly known as the Indians. If he was able to play in that game, he could be cleared and get him back on the road. Soto was still in Arizona for treatment, while Manny Machado, Nelson Cruz, and Luis Garcia left camp on Monday to play in the WBC. Cruz is trying to make a Padres roster as a designated hitter and outfielder, and as the general manager for his country of the World Baseball Classic. Well, how do you like that? Speaking of the World Baseball Classic, why don't we do some of the scores right now, as games are still going on? Yeah. The WBC scores go this way. All right. Just get up the page here. Like I said before, Mexico was leading the U.S. right now. Hopefully that'll change. They were trailing against the Great Britain last night early on, but they were able to beat them soundly. Okay,
Is it still
right
2-0?
It is now 3-1 Mexico. Oh, boy.
3-1. Okay.
3-1, yuck. Australia is leading in the bottom of the 3rd. Australia is leading the Czech Republic 1-0. That just getting started. Your finals. The finals are Japan over Australia 7-1. Italy beat the Netherlands 7-1. Israel over Nicaragua, 3-1. Canada beat up Great Britain 18-7. It was called after 7 innings due to the 10-run rule. That is a rule in WBC. Venezuela over Puerto Rico, 9-6. Tomorrow's games are as follows: Korea will take on China. The Dominican Republic will take on Nicaragua. Colombia will take on Great Britain. Israel will take on Puerto Rico at 7 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, the USA versus Canada.
That'll be a good one.
That should be a good one. Unfortunately, none of these games are on Fox. Sorry.
None of them?
None of them. There's only, I think Fox only has 2 games and a semifinal game.
Yeah, we can always check our local listings.
Of course.
Check
But
our satellite listings.
right. The majority of the games are on Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2.
FS1, FS2? Okay.
Yes. The majority. There are some scattered
right.
games that are on Fox, but how do you really compare the World Baseball Classic to NCAA basketball tournament? You know, that's really a downside on their part, if you ask me. Okay. 106.98, 140 to go. All right, so that concludes my report. I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, so that was episode 41 of True Sports.
Wow.
Man, yeah, over an hour and a quarter
Yeah.
long. That was some hard work. So, yeah, we went over the bracket and then an hour long of a True Sports update, True Sports report. Man,
Yes.
stacking the deck, man.
Yeah.
So a long episode 41 in the can on True Sports. We'll be back Sunday night at 11.
And just clear up just to make one thing. By the time we get back on, most of us will have our brackets, I think, 90% busted. So,
Yeah, that's always the way it goes, right?
right. Yeah.
Because you never know
Anyway,
what might happen.
yeah, I mean, but there's this contest going on that if anybody gets all exactly right, which is highly impossible, will wind up winning $1 billion. I got 3 words about that. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's why I don't even participate, by the way.
Right. Makes logical sense. So
Right.
remember, by next week at this time, if you're feeling a little bit disgusted, it's because your bracket is busted.
Yep, that's a good rhyme. So
I
with
know.
that being said, until next, actually Sunday I can't make it because
Okay.
I'll be spending Sunday night in an Airbnb.
Oh,
How about Saturday night at 11?
yeah, we'll just start at 11.
Yeah, until Saturday night at 11 on episode 42. For Lewis, I'm Taylor. We'll talk to you next week. Ta-ta.
Good night, folks.